Hi, I'm Steve from JPS Electrical Services. In this week's video, I'm going to show you how to replace this rocker switch with a dimmer switch. So what I'm going to do is we're going like for like. We've got a brushed stainless switch here at the moment which matches all the other sockets and the lights in the kitchen. So I'm going to put this one on in place of it. One thing to remember on these is there's a bigger unit on the back. Some installation boxes, the box that's installed in the wall that this screws into, are only very shallow and these won't fit. So you either need a spacer, a 10mm spacer, or the box needs replacing, or you just make do with what you've got. Okay, straight away I can see that the box installed is deep enough for this dimmer switch, but I have noticed there's a lug at the top and the bottom. These aren't needed because we screw into the sides on this one, so they're fine, but this top one and bottom one, they're likely to foul the unit, so I'm just going to get my hammer and chisel and knock those back. When you're doing this, make sure the cables are out of the way. If you end up nicking one of those cables, it's likely to turn out to be too short to connect back into the light switch. This one here is very important. This is a metal class 1 piece of equipment, accessory. So this has to be earthed. If you don't have an earth cable in the circuit here, then you cannot install a class 1 item. It must be plastic, class 2. So this particular switch is using new wires. We've got a brown and a blue cable. Now blue is obviously normally associated to a neutral, but you'll notice that this has a brown identification sleeve on it, and that's just indicating that it's not a neutral, it is in fact a live cable. So this is the permanent live coming down from the lighting circuit, goes into the top of the light switch, and then once that switch is flicked on, this cable that's not been doing anything becomes live, and that's what takes the live signal to the lights and makes them come on. So on this dimmer switch, we've got the earth terminal for our earth cable to connect into, and then we've got our common is in the middle, our L1 and L2, and we'll just be using common and L1. When using the securing screws, just be sure that the cables aren't likely to foul, or the foul on the back box, or the screws pinch the cable when you screw them in. I've just pinched that up. Before I tighten it up fully, there's one important thing that I have to do. I have to know it's level. I will lose sleep over fittings and fixtures that aren't level. So switches and sockets. It drives my wife mad because I can go into a restaurant or a hotel, and if I see a socket or a switch that's on the wonky woo, that's it. It can ruin my night and hers. there we go. One level brushed stainless steel dimmer switch. One thing I will say is this is LED compatible. So if you're using LED light bulbs and you have a standard type dimmer switch and you turn it on, what's going to happen is the flicker. It just won't work. So this is LED compatible.